Liberty Nation with Tim Donner.
So we've been discussing how the real winner on Super Tuesday was not so much Joe Biden. He's the same hapless, often embarrassing yet amiable person he was before, but the Democratic political establishment, which was backed into a corner and came out swinging, driving out the moderate competition right before Super Tuesday and getting them to sing Kumbaya and treat Joe Biden like something nobody saw him as just a few days before. Joining us to analyze whether this establishment move is going to work or not, whether Biden is likely to maintain his momentum or not, and whether Bernie is toast or not, is LibertyNation.com's incisive, outspoken political columnist Joe Schaeffer. Hello, Joe.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Pleasure to have you back. It always is. So I'm going to ask you if you can admit to having a kind of grudging admiration for a Democratic establishment that couldn't even count votes in Iowa, getting it together enough to raise the flag about stopping Bernie with the only remaining vessel they had, Joe Biden, and getting everyone to salute. Was it not well played for what they were intent on achieving?
I guess you have to give it to them. I didn't think they could pull this off. And it really backs up in a weird way everything they've done since Trump took office in 2017. They scared the hell out of everyone apparently in the Democratic Party. Trump is this existential threat to liberty. Russia, Mueller probe, everything. It made them look horrible. Yet here they are scaring all their voters into voting for this dinosaur of the uniparty that everybody cannot wait to see go away. That they did that is really a testament to what we all thought was a fading, dying political establishment.
So will the establishment live to regret their plot to take down Bernie, or did they really have no other choice but to throw in all their chips on the table for Joe Biden?
Yeah, I don't think they had any choice. It's at this point with them, it's after me the deluge. They just want to hold on to power for as long as they can. Another day in the saddle is a good day for them. Their time is marked. I think they realize it. And we saw this even with Nancy Pelosi making her deals with AOC to hold on to her speakership for just a little bit longer. That's what's going on here. So when you look at it that way, yeah, they had no choice and they got what they want. They are going to keep their seats at the trough for another couple years, 4 years. If Joe Biden is the nominee, it's a big victory for them.
Now, up to this point, Joe Biden has been hidden somewhat in a large field on the debate stage. But now, with Elizabeth Warren dropping out, Mike Bloomberg dropping out, and Tulsi Gabbard, the only one officially in the field, she won't be in the debate, he can no longer hide in a big field where his gaffes aren't as pronounced. So what are your expectations in the next debate coming up this week between Bernie and Biden?
Well, it really should be perfect for Bernie, but I think what's gone on here shows that Bernie has not been running a particularly fantastic campaign. He's been too caught up in identity politics and talking about climate change, things like that, way too much. I'm not pandering, but bowing to the progressive, the social left, much more than focusing on his class ideas. That is what really got him where he is. So this rise of Biden in many ways is a slam at Bernie's campaign. I guess it wasn't this progressive, inevitable snowball turning into an avalanche that he would like it to project to be. How can you not beat Joe Biden going into Super Tuesday? The guy can't even speak a complete sentence at times. If you really have this inevitable movement, so the flaws in this Sanders movement have been exposed here. He's got to right the ship. He should be able to do it. but he never really should have been put in this situation in the first place. He's basically the equivalent of Trump with Jeb Bush, but Jeb Bush rolling Donald Trump. That's how Bernie looks right now, and he's got to change that narrative really fast.
And Bernie has to learn how to fight. I mean, famously in 2016, when he got on the debate stage with Hillary Clinton and said, I don't want to hear any more about your damn emails, he was conceding an issue that he needed in order to overtake the heavy favorite. Now, we'll see whether he goes hard after Biden or not. He's going to need to do that. But, Joe, I mean, a party preaching diversity has narrowed its field of 29 candidates down to 2. Both white men, 78 and 77 years old. I remember when they said Reagan was too old to be president, and he was 79 when he left the White House.
Yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate concern. It is a serious concern, especially when you look at what's going on. It's not just the age, it's how are they holding up. Bernie Sanders had a heart attack in early October. He's not releasing a lot of medical information on that. And he didn't know Michael Bloomberg had dropped out for several hours after the rest of the country knew. You're one of the 3 guys who could be president of the United States at this point. You kind of have to know what's going on, as it's going on. So that was alarming. Joe Biden, we know, I think there is going to be a serious look at this. He has some kind of dementia. It is not inappropriate to ask these questions when he keeps making these amazing gaffes day after day after day, not even recognizing his own wife, can't tell apart his own wife from his sister, whatever that was about. So it's not just the age, it's about how they're holding up. And the 2 Democrats are not holding up. Trump, of course, looks like he has unlimited energy. As for the 2 white men thing, that's the thing that's holding the Democrats back. They got to stop focusing on this. We need a woman. We need a woman. Well, that really didn't help Elizabeth Warren, did it? Her campaign went down in flames because she focused on that way, way too much at the expense of the issues that should have been able to propel her to a much better showing.
Now, of course, Joe Biden, and we'll find this out soon now that he's considered to be the front runner to win the nomination of one of the 2 major political parties, that he not once but twice within a few months had brain aneurysms in the 1980s, and most any neurologist will tell you that that has a permanent impact on your mental functioning. That's the kind of thing that's going to come out. Probably not from Bernie, but if Biden gets a nomination, it'll certainly come out from Trump. Now, the delegate totals are less than 1/4 of what's needed to get the nomination, so it's now a 2-man race. 32 states, starting with 6 coming up Tuesday. Michigan, the big prize. Also, Idaho, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, and Washington. Is this sort of mini Super Tuesday more about delegates or more about momentum?
Well, I think it's both. I think Bernie can't fall behind too much. We know he's not going to win a brokered convention. He knows that. He's already thrown in and said if he doesn't have a plurality, just a plurality going in, he'll drop out. And that's just, he's got nothing to lose. If he doesn't have that plurality, they're not giving him the nomination, and he knows it. So that wasn't a bad thing to say. I don't think he can afford to have Biden racking up states much more. We know he's going to lose Florida on March 17th with all those delegates. That's going to hurt. And we know that's already going to happen. He cannot lose Michigan, in my opinion. He's got to keep it close in Michigan. It should be a state that plays to all of his advantages, working class people. It was the key state Trump took to take down Hillary in 2016. But again, have we seen it from Bernie? Can he go in and win a state? He's not an absolute lock-in as he was with New Hampshire and California. He needs to show that he can do that. He needs to show it fast. So I absolutely think Michigan on March 10th is crucial for him.
Well, lest we forget, Bernie had a big victory in Michigan in 2016 against Hillary. That sort of kept his campaign alive when it was starting to flag. So he's got a history there. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks a lot.
That is Joe Schaeffer, political columnist for LibertyNation.com.